Hello, hello. Welcome, my friends. Jason here. Jessica, so nice to see you here. Welcome to everybody who is joining us. This is our Vinyasa Flow Level 1 2 sequence. This is Facebook Live Yoga. I do live streaming yoga every single day of the week on Facebook Live, and we do various classes throughout the day. So, all different classes from beginner to intermediate and even relaxation classes as well. So, if you're not already following us, please hit the thumbs up sign on the like or the like button on the Facebook page. And if you're watching on another platform, I will look forward to practicing with you. Just find me on Facebook if you want to practice with us here. So thanks so much, Jessica. We're going to begin lying down on our backs with our knees bent and our feet about hips width distance apart. We'll start there, and we have a nice flow planned for today. So without further ado, let us begin our practice. Right. All right. So as you begin, you'll start on your back, and you'll begin with, as I shared with you, the knees bent, the feet about hip width distance apart, and just release on down towards the mat. So usually we start class here, and the reason we start class here is because this is a great way for us to check into the body. And you can take the arms forward of the chest and just close the eyes and, palms either facing the floor or palms facing the ceiling here. And as you continue to breathe, just begin to observe the feet touching down towards the mat. Begin to feel the lower back spreading across the mat, maybe the lengthening of the tailbone towards the heels, maybe the hugging in of the navel here. Maybe the palms begin to face the ceiling as you turn the arms into external rotation. And eventually, we're going to bring those knees into the chest, and you're going to keep the arms out to the sides. So as you breathe here, you're going to lift the head up, take the hands back behind the head, and just begin to breathe here as you lift the feet up to parallel to the floor. So as you continue to breathe here, look towards the belly, and just lift those shoulders up so you can actually walk the left and right shoulder up, almost as if you're walking here, except with your shoulders. So you're just going to alternate the right elbow and the left elbow, just like a walking motion here. And then eventually the shoulders are lifted pretty high up off the mat. Good. Keep looking at that belly here. Then you're going to float the arms forward in front of you. Keep lifting those shoulders up off the mat and float both legs up towards the ceiling here. So as you lift both legs up towards the ceiling, begin to lengthen those fingers up towards the ceiling. Again, keep the eyes focused on the belly. As you exhale, extend the legs forward, extend the arms back behind you. Inhale, drawing the legs up towards the ceiling, drawing the arms towards the legs. As you exhale, legs draw forward, arms draw back. Good. Inhale, legs up towards the ceiling, arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, legs draw forward, arms draw back, or rather opposite. Extend the legs up, extend the arms up, and hug your knees into the chest here. Very nice. Going to release the feet onto the floor, and we're going to move through some crunches here. So on the inhale, you're going to lift up the chest. On the exhale, you're going to lift up the legs. Extend the legs out. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, release the legs all the way down. Release the head down. Good. Inhale, lift up the chest here. Exhale, draw the legs up. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. On the next exhalation, release the feet down. Release the head all the way down. So on the inhale, we lift up. On the exhale, we extend the legs. Inhale, we lift up a little bit higher. And on the exhale, we release the feet down. We release the head down. So 5 more of these. Chest lifts up. Legs lift up. Chest lifts up higher. And then we release the legs down for 4. Lift up the chest. Lift up those legs. Good. Lift up the chest again. And exhale, we release the feet and the head down for another 3. Lift up the head. Lift up the legs. Lift up the chest even higher. And then release the feet and the head down for another 2. Lift up the chest. Lift up the legs. Lift up the chest again. And exhale, lower the feet and the head. 1 more. Lift up the head. Lift up the legs. Lift up the chest. Hold here. So this time we're going to hold. Just breathe here. Keep looking at the belly. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart. As you exhale, hug the knees into the chest and begin to rock the body forwards and backwards until eventually we find our way into a seated position. We're just going to start out welcoming ourselves into the practice. So, Jessica, so nice to have you here. We got a really nice class planned for today. So take the hands into the center chest. If you'd like to join me in an Om, please feel free to. Taking a deep breath in. Releasing the chin towards the chest, taking your way onto your hands and your knees, and finding your way into downward facing dog pose. So see that the heels are out, see that the toes are back. Float the legs up, downward facing dog pose. And as we come into our first downward facing dog pose, turn the fingers out slightly. So see that the fingers are facing the angles of the mat, or the corners of the mat, if you will. Now release the head down towards the mat here. Bend the knees slightly. And on the next breath, just see if you can continue to press those fingers forward. So the fingers are almost gliding towards the front of the mat. You're still lengthening the heels back all the way to the back of the mat here as you do that. So the arms are drawing forward, legs are drawing back. As you feel ready, shift forward into plank position. So plank position, shoulders over wrist, and breathe here. As we hold ourselves in plank position for a moment, just see that the legs are pressing back, see that the hands are pressing down. We're going to do this a few times. So engage the core muscles here. See if you can lift up from your core to find your way back into downward facing dog pose. So use your core to find your way back into downward facing dog pose. And again, shift forward into plank pose, top of a push-up here. So once again, find your way into the top of a push-up. Good. And as you exhale, pressing those heels back, downward facing dog pose. And again, finding your way into a push-ups here. So we do this a few times to warm up the shoulders, to warm up the hips. Keep pressing down through those fingers. Once again, releasing on and back, downward facing dog pose. Float the right leg up towards the ceiling. As the right leg floats up, press through those fingers. On the next breath, draw the right knee into the chest. Round the spine here and step the right foot in between the hands. Release the left knee down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling here. So as you float the arms up towards the ceiling, continue to press down through the left shin. Continue to wrap the outer arms up and maybe lengthen through the fingers as you look up towards the fingers with the head. As you exhale here, release the hands back down on the mat. Tuck the left toes underneath. Inhale, float the left leg up, and this time extend your right arm out to the right side. So now we're going to come all the way into our twisting crescent pose. Breathing here as you lift through that right arm. Good. Release the right palm down to the mat. Begin to straighten through your right leg as you come up onto the heel of your right foot. Release the head on down. So you can bend the right knee slightly if you need to. And release the head down here for Parsvottanasana on the heel of your right foot. As you exhale, lower that right foot down. This time, keep the left heel lifted. Keep the right knee bent. Continue to flex the right toes, and then float the hands back behind you as you come into a low crescent, a hybrid low and high crescent pose. So keep extending through the chest and heart here. Inhale, float the arms up above the head. So we find our way into crescent pose, Anjali-asana. And as you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the right leg back. Once again, shift forward into plank pose. So we're going to do this a few times. Plank pose here, spread through the fingers. See that the outer arms are lengthening forward. See that the inner arms are lengthening back. And as you feel ready, exhale, shift your way back, downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, float the left leg up here. Left knee comes into the chest, shoulders over wrist, round the spine, hug that knee in. And then step the left foot in between the hands. Release the right knee down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. So if you'd like here, take the arms forward in front of you. Pinky fingers face one another. Good. Inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling. As you raise the arms up, look up to the fingers. Maybe the fingers touch here as you look on up. Exhale, lower those hands down to the mat. So now tuck the right toes underneath. Lift the right leg up. And begin to extend or float your left right arm up towards the ceiling. As you breathe here, keep lifting through the left arm and bending through the left knee. Good. As you exhale, lower that left hand on down.
Begin to inhale here, straighten through your left leg. Lift the left toes up off the mat. So release your head on down and find your way into Parsvatonasana stretch. Breathe here. Exhale, lower that foot down. One more time, bend into that left knee. If you'd like, lift the left toes off the mat. So just the heel and the ball of the left foot are on the mat. Then float the arms back behind you. So the arms come back behind you, the palms are facing one another. Keep pressing through that right heel here. Keep lifting that right inner thigh up. Draw both hips in and breathe. Eventually, you're going to inhale, lift the chest on up, float the arms up towards the ceiling here. Crescent pose. Keep those left toes floating off the mat. Good. As you exhale, softly release the left toes down. Release the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Shift forward once again into plank pose, top of a push-up here. So once again, we hold our plank pose. You can always lower the knees down if you need to. See that the belly is hugging in. See that the heels are pressing back. Allow the shoulders to move down the spine. Good. Exhale once again. Downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose here, look forward in between the hands. Begin to walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening up halfway here. As you exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way down. As you inhale, spin the arms forward of the chest. Lift the fingers up. Maybe the palms come to touch. As you exhale, take the arms back down to the sides. Good. We're going to begin to move through some flow right now. Inhale, float those arms up above the head. Raise the fingers up. Maybe bring the fingers together. Palms touch. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and release the chest all the way down. Good. As you inhale, lengthening forward halfway here. Take the hands down to the mat. Walk the feet back. Find your way into plank pose. As you come into plank pose, and this is our first one, we'll lower the knees down, bend the elbows towards the side ribs, lower the chest all the way down. Walk the hands back here so that the palms are directly underneath the elbows. Hug the elbows in. See that the shoulders move down the spine as you lengthen the chest on forward. Maybe begin to float the right leg up. Pause here. See if you can lengthen the chest a little bit more forward. Release the right foot down. See if you can lengthen the left leg up. Pause here. See if you can press down the fingers. Draw those elbows in. Good. See if you can float both legs up. Maybe the fingers float up off the mat here. Nice. Exhale, lower those fingers down. Press up through cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose again. Float the right leg up. Right knee comes into chest, shoulders over wrists, round the spine here. So see if you can press through the tops of the fingers as you round the spine. That's it. And then step the right foot in between the hands. Press the left heel back. Press the right shin back. Inhale, float both arms up towards the ceiling as we come into crescent pose. Again here. Take the arms. Bring the arms out to the sides. Bring the arms forward in front of you. Pinkies face one another. Palms face the ceiling. Inhale, raise those arms up towards the ceiling. As you do so, look to the fingers. Maybe the fingers touch here for crescent pose. As you exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Glide the right leg back. Shift forward into plank pose. Now, if you'd like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down halfway. Pause. Inhale, peel up the chest here. Exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose. Float the left leg up. Left knee comes to chest, shoulders over wrists. Round the spine. Hold here. So continue to press through the fingers and round the spine. Step the left foot in between the hands. Press the right heel back. Press the left shin back. Inhale, take the arms back and float the arms up towards the ceiling. So once again here, maybe adding a light bend to your right knee here as you lift through both sides of the chest. You're going to take the arms forward in front of you. See that the pinky fingers face one another. See that the palms face the ceiling. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Look up towards the fingers. Look up, look up, look up. Maybe touch the fingers here. As you exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Again, shifting forward into plank pose. Hold here in plank. So once again, we see that the fingers are pressing down. All 10 fingers are spread wide apart here. See that the forearms are drawing forward as the triceps draw back. Continue to hug the belly in. And as you press the thighs back, find your way back into downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose here, we're going to step the right foot in between the hands this time. Step the right foot right next to the right palm. Spin the left heel down. So see that the left shin draws back to the back of the mat. See that the right shin draws back. But as the right shin draws back, the right calf is drawing forward. Inhale, bring the hands to the sides. Once again, arms come up towards the ceiling. One more time here, arms come out to the sides. Glide the fingers forward in front of you. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe the fingers touch here. Good. Bring the hands back into the center chest. Straighten the right leg. Walk the right toes over to the left. Take the arms out to the sides. And begin to hinge at that right hip as you find your way into triangle pose. So, Utthita Trikonasana here. Allow the left heel to press down. Allow the right ball of the foot to press down. Feel both legs engaged here so that the right calf is moving towards the shin, so that the left thigh is pressing back. Allow both sides of the chest to lift up towards the left palm. Inhale, float the left arm up. Bend deeply into your right knee as you lift the right toes up off the floor. So this is an action I'll come back to throughout today's practice. Keep drawing back through the left palm. Keep extending forward through the right palm. Good. Inhale, spin the right palm up towards the ceiling. Release the left palm down the left shin. Right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back. Shift forward, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So again here, instead of floating the leg back, we step the left foot in between the hands. We actually bring the left foot right next to the left palm. Spin the right heel down. As you firm in the left hip, press through both feet. Inhale, lift the chest and come up to standing. Float the arms up towards the ceiling here. Good. So once again, see that the left toes are floating off the mat. So you're pressing through the left heel and the left ball of the foot. Left toes are floating off the mat, and then softly release the left toes down. Glide the arms in front of you. Glide the arms in front of you. Glide the arms in front of you. As you press down through the feet, inhale, float the arms up, and bring the palms to touch here. Maybe looking up towards the fingers. Hands come down the center chest. Straighten your left leg. Walk your left toes over to the right side of the mat. Arms out to the sides. Hinge at your left hip. Bring your left hand down outside of your left leg. Right arm extends up towards the ceiling. Press through the left ball of the foot. See that the left buttocks draws back. See that the right hip draws forward. Continue to lengthen through the right side of the chest to the right fingers here. Inhale, float the right arm up. Bend deeply into the left knee. As you bend into the left knee, can you press down through the left heel as you lift up or draw back the left buttocks? Continue to lengthen both shoulders out to the pinky fingers. Feel the right heel pressing down. See if you can bend into that left knee even more. Glide the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Reverse the warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Glide that left leg on back. Shift forward, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward facing dog pose here. Good. So from downward facing dog pose, we're going to shift forward into plank again. So be in plank pose. Spread the fingers wide apart here. You're going to take the right knee, you're going to cross it over the body and bring it to the left elbow. Pause here. Then you're going to glide that right leg out to the right side. Spin onto the outer side of your left foot. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling for fallen triangle pose. Be here as you press through the left foot. See if you can take the left arm and extend the left arm over the head for extended falling triangle pose. Now glide your left hand back down to the mat. Shift forward. See if you can bend both elbows to the floor. Inhale, lifting up. 2 more times. I know this is a little tough. Bending down to the floor halfway. Inhale, pressing up. Good. 1 more time. Coming down halfway. Inhale, pressing up. Drawing that leg back to center here. Releasing back into downward facing dog. Sorry about that. All right, so from here, we still have another side. So you're going to draw the left knee in, draw the left knee to the chest, take the left knee towards the right forearm here. Good, pause. Now you're going to extend your left leg all the way out to the left side of the room. Good. Spin onto the right outer foot. Inhale, float the right arm up for fallen triangle. This time, glide the right fingers off to the right. Inhale, float the right arm up over the head. Press down through the right heel. Press down through the right ball of the foot. See if you can lift the right side of the chest. Inhale, float that arm back up. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. So from here, 3 chaturangas. So you can lower down halfway or all the way. And inhale, press on up. 2 more times. So lowering down and inhale, pressing up. 1 more. Lowering down. Inhale, pressing up. Gliding that left leg back to center. Great work. Walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Keep sinking those hips down. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Straighten through the legs. Release the arms down to the sides. Find your way back into Tadasana pose. Okay, we're going to continue to move on forward. Inhale. Float those arms up towards the ceiling as you bend the knees, Utkatasana. As you exhale, forward fold here. As you inhale, lengthen through the chest. Step the feet back, finding your way into plank pose again. Plank pose, shifting forward, chaturanga. You can always lower the knees down. Inhale, peeling up the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, step the right foot in between the hands. Bring the right foot right next to the right palm. Spin the left heel down. Firm the outer hips in. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Warrior 1 pose. From Warrior 1, hands come to the center chest. Walk the right toes over to the left. Inhale, Warrior 2 pose. So as we take Warrior 2 pose, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into those feet. Allow the left arm to draw back. Allow the right arm to draw forward. Good. Straighten through that right leg again. Once again, hinge at the hips. Glide your right hand down outside of the leg. Left arm up towards the ceiling here. Take the left hand to the left hip. Look down towards the floor. Begin to bend into that right knee and step that right foot forward. Step the left foot in. Step the right hand forward once again. Glide the weight into the right fingers here. Inhale, float that left leg up. See that the left toes are facing the floor. Keep lifting through the right leg here. Maybe float the left arm up towards the ceiling. If you want more, begin to turn the chest to face the side of the room. Begin to turn the chest to face the ceiling. That's it. Releasing rather slowly, bending into the right knee, softly releasing the left leg on down. Finding your way back into triangle pose. Inhale, peeling up, bending into that right knee. Reversing the warrior here. Exhale, windmilling those hands down to the mat. So we begin to move through this flow, and you can always skip vinyasas if you like. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or just staying in downward facing dog pose. As you feel ready, stepping the left foot in between the hands, spinning the right heel down. Imagine you could hug the thighs in towards each other as you press the feet away. Inhale, Warrior 1 pose. As you exhale here, the hands come to the chest. Glide the arms out to the sides. Warrior 2 pose, bending deeply into that left knee. Straighten through the left leg. Hinge that left hip back, right hip forward. Glide the right arm up towards the ceiling as you find your way into triangle pose. Press through the outer edges of the feet. See that the left shin moves forward. See that the right heel presses down. Glide the right hand to the right hip. Bend into the left knee. Glide the left hand out. Step the right foot in. Step the left hand out again, and then glide your right leg up. Ardha Chandrasana pose. Inhale, float the right arm up. See that the right toes are facing the floor. See that the right side of the chest is lengthening up towards the right fingers. Glide the shoulder blades up towards the back of the right palm. That's it. Bend deeply into the left knee. Softly release that right leg on down. Find your way back into triangle pose. Inhale, lifting the chest, Warrior 2. Reverse the warrior here, and then windmill the hands down to the mat. Step your left leg back and move through a vinyasa. Shift forward, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So breathing here just for a couple of breaths. Spread the fingers wide apart.
See that the fingers are lengthening to the front of the mat as the heels lengthen to the back of the mat. Feel the shins drawing back towards the calves as the as the back of the forearms lengthen to the front of the forearms. Feel the outer triceps wrapping in as the thighs wrapping. Good. Keeping all of those actions, begin to walk the feet forward towards the hands. Bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the chest. As you exhale, fold here. Keep bending the knees. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum, and float the arms up for Utkatasana chair pose. See if you can lift the toes up off the mat. Straighten through those legs. Take the arms back out to the sides. And be here in Tadasana pose. So this is really just an interlude, if you will. Take the hands to the hips. Glide the right leg out to the right. And then from here, you're going to take the right leg, bring it behind the left. And begin to lean on forward here, lean on forward, lean on forward. Hands are still at the hips. Good. Inhale, lifting the chest up and bringing the feet back together. You're going to take the left leg, glide it out, glide it out, glide it out. Bend into that right knee deeply. Inhale, lifting the leg up and coming back to center. So this is just like if we were to be skating. I don't know if you've ever gone skating before, like skating on rollerblades, but this is an action that we're slowing it down a lot, but you're bending into the right knee, you're gliding forward, the chest is forward, the heart is forward. And this is a way that we get aerodynamics. So we're going to do another 3 of these. If you want more, keep the right toes up off the mat. Good. So continuing to breathe here. And another 2. So you step back and then glide that right leg back, bend that knee once again if you want more, keeping that leg off the floor. Nice. All right, and then the last one's on each side. So gliding back to the right. Really good work, guys, really good work. And back to center and then to the other side. Nice. Back to center again. Okay. Inhale, float those arms up. Utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. You're going to walk those hands back. Find your way into plank. From plank pose, you're going to lower those knees down. You're going to lower the chest all the way down. Release the forehead down to the mat. Take the hands back behind you. See that the fingers are facing one another. Inhale, peel the chest up, Shalabhasana's pose. So first start with the arms. We'll move into the legs in a second. So see that the palms are hugging in towards each other. Feel the shoulders moving down the spine here as the chest lengthens on forward. Continue to feel the belly hugging in and float the right leg up. So the right leg floats up and you're lifting through the chest. Release that right foot down. Inhale, float the left leg up. So here we're just creating extension and elongation. That's it. You got this. Exhale, lower that foot down. Inhale, float both feet up. So see that the big toes come to touch. See that the buttocks flesh spreads along the back of the spine and breathe here. As you exhale, take the hands underneath the center chest. Tuck the toes underneath. Press down through the hands. Press down through the feet. Downward facing dog pose. So again, we're in downward facing dog pose here and releasing the head on down. We're going to step the right foot in between the hands this time, directly in the center, and spin the left heel down. Inhale, windmilling the arms up into Warrior 2 pose. Take the hands into the hips and straighten that right leg. So just a quick glance at the legs. See that the right heel, right knee, right hip are in a line. And re-bend into that right knee. As you bend into that right knee, lift the right toes up off the mat. I've been teaching this action all week. It's kind of like we focus on certain actions. This is my action through this week. Arms come out to the sides and breathe here. You're going to glide the right hand forward. Place the right palm inside of the right leg. Left arm up towards the ceiling. You could keep those right toes off the floor for a moment and then release the right toes down. Begin to glide the left hand back to the back of the room. Glide the left hand down. Glide the left arm all the way up and over the head. This is called extended side angle pose. Keep pressing through that left heel. Keep lifting through the left side of the chest. Inhale. Float the left arm back up. Raise the left arm up and then glide back into Warrior 2 pose. Again, straighten through your right leg. Take the arms up towards the ceiling here. Palms face one another. One more time, bend into that right knee, but keep the arms lifted up towards the ceiling here. Bend both elbows and bring the palms right back behind the head as you lift the chest on up. Good. You're going to glide the hands up towards the ceiling one more time. Glide the arms out to the sides. Now, take the arms, Spin the arms up towards the ceiling as you turn your left foot in, finding your way back into crescent pose like before.
Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Glide your right leg back to meet the left leg, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog pose. Step the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. So as you windmill the arms up and out to the sides, we start here. Just feel the feet. The feet are our foundation of the pose. So feel the feet aligning your body. Feel the legs aligning your body. Feel the chest aligning your body. Once you begin to stabilize through the legs, maybe lift the left toes up off the mat. Begin to glide the left hand down inside the leg, right arm up towards the ceiling here. Draw the left buttocks in. Keep lifting through that right arm. Then spin the right palm down towards the floor. Glide the right arm up and over the head as you move into extended side angle pose. As you draw, or as you press through the right heel, lengthen through the right fingers. See that the right side of the chest is turning towards the ceiling. See that both shoulder blades are moving back down the spine. Keep breathing here. Inhale, float the right arm up. Let the right arm lift you up and out of the pose. Warrior two again. Windmill the left arm up towards the ceiling here. Good. As you exhale, glide both hands up towards the ceiling, palms touch. Bend both elbows, bring the hands to touch the back of the head and lift the chest up. Good. Hug the belly in, feel the frontal ribs softening. Then from here, once again, glide the arms up, turn the right foot in, facing the front of the mat, walk the left toes over just a bit. Exhale, lower the hands on down. Step that left leg back and find your way into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana pose. Good. Downward facing dog pose. Once again, walk the feet forward towards the hands, and you're going to pause here. Bring the knees to a bent position. We're going to set up for crow pose or bakasana pose. So, as you feel ready, see that your knees are outside of your shoulders. So the knees are hugging against the outer triceps here. This is very important. Then what you do is you begin to walk the hands back to the body. So you see my knees are bent a lot and my buttocks is towards the ground, but I'm walking my hands back so that the elbows are along the shins of the body. Then what you're going to do is you're going to begin to lift up the hips as you straighten the legs. Keep walking those hands back. And from here, you begin to look forward. Now, as you press through the fingers, maybe begin to lift the left leg up and lean forward. As you exhale, lower that left foot down. We're going to do the same thing to the right side. So press through the fingers, lift up the right leg. Be here. Squeeze the belly and lift the chest. Good. Exhale, lower that right foot down. Then from here, can you lift up both feet, left foot, right foot, maybe the toes touch. Keep hugging in through those legs. Exhale, lower on down. Straighten the legs here, release the head down towards the ground as you come into a forward fold. Now bend the knees, bend the knees, bend the knees. Utkatasana chair pose again. And press through the feet to straighten the legs. Okay. So from here, hands come to the center chest. We're going to take our hands to our hips, and then we're going to bend the left knee and come into Vrikshasana or tree pose. The left foot comes into the right thigh crease. The right hip moves into the left foot. Hands come to the center chest here. Good. Glide the arms up towards the ceiling so we come into tree pose. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep lifting through the heart. We're going to take the hands back to the center chest, okay? We're going to take the left leg. We're going to draw the left leg forward in front of us. And then we're going to bring the left foot over the top of the right thigh. Bend into that knee. So we've done this before. This is called standing pigeons pose. You keep sinking deeper and deeper into that right hip. So you keep lowering down more and more and more. Then maybe you begin to bring the hands down to the earth as you release the head on down. Okay, from here, if we're trying to work the arm balance of the pose, what we begin to do is we line up the left knee with the top of the left arm and the top of the right arm as well. So we kind of make a shelf. It's called a shelf. Then you lean on forward and you keep pushing your left leg up the arm. And you come into Chaturanga here. Maybe you float that leg off. Maybe you lift up your right leg any amount. And then bring it on back, bring it on back, bring it on back. Walk back, walk back, walk back. Hands come to the center chest. Unhook the leg and come back to center. So I'm going to break that down again a little bit slower on the other side. Hands come to the hips here. Bend through that right knee. Spin the right heel out so the right heel is touching the left shin. From here, glide that right leg up. Bring it into the left thigh crease. Press the left outer foot. Well, once you get your balance, I'm a little bit off. I'm a little bit on my outer left foot. But once you get your balance here, see that your left hip is drawing in. See that your right foot is pressing in. Hands come to the center chest here. Then from here, we take our right leg. We bring it forward. We bring our right leg over top of the left thigh and we begin to bend the knees. So some of us will just stay here. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with staying here. If you're working the balance of the pose, and I'll turn to the side of the room, then you want to really take your right shin and your right foot high up on your arms. So one side is easier than the other sometimes. For me, the left side is actually easier than the right side. So I stack the shoulders, I stack the shoulders, I stack the shoulders, and just lean forward into chaturanga. Maybe the left foot floats off the floor. Maybe that leg extends back. And then exhale, lower down. Walk the hands back, walk the hands back, walk the hands back. Take the chest up, release the right foot down, and come back into standing. So nice little floating pigeons pose. From here, inhale, float the arms up, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening halfway. Good. As you exhale, walking the feet back, plank pose. Plank pose, lowering the knees down, lowering the chest all the way down. All right, now take your hands and bring your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers. As you place the hands behind the back, pull the fingers back. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum up, and breathe here. Once again, float that right leg up. Once again, float that left leg up. See that the toes are facing the floor. See that the heels are facing the ceiling. Good, and as you exhale, lower the head all the way down. Release the hands out to the sides and breathe here. All right, from here, you're going to take those knees, you're going to bring the knees to a bent position. You're going to grab hold of your shins, grab hold of your shins, grab hold of your shins. Kick the legs back, lift the thighs up, and breathe here. This is called Dhanurasana's pose, or wheel pose. Keep kicking those legs back. Allow the chest to lift up. Shoulder blades move down the spine. Keep lifting up through the chest and breathing here. As you exhale, lower that head all the way down. All right, and one more time. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the heart up, and then begin to kick the legs back. So from here, kick the legs back, kick the legs back, kick the legs back. So keep kicking back, keep lifting the chest, keep breathing here. As you exhale, lower the legs down and release the head to the other side. Now take the hands to the floor. Inhale, peel the chest up, and you're going to find your way onto a seat. So we're kind of continuing in this sequence to take a few more back bends. So have a seat on your block. And as you sit on your block, just draw the legs together. If you don't have a block, it's fine. You can just sit down on the ground, or you could sit on your heels. So from here, we're building up Dhanurasana's pose, but in a standing way, or in a kneeling way, rather. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift up, and you're going to find your way onto the backs of the feet. Shins are pressing down, the backs of the feet are pressing down, and you have a block in between your legs. You'll take your hands, you'll bring them to the buttocks flush. You'll glide your hands down the buttocks. You'll glide the hands down the buttocks. You'll glide the hands to the backs of the knees, and then you'll lift the chest on up. So you could just be here. This is really the starting point of the pose. Elbows draw in, chest lifts up, and then you're going to lower all the way down. So
So eventually you'll have a seat and you'll come back to Virasana's pose, hero's pose. And then from here again, you're going to lift up. You're going to take the hands to the buttocks. You're going to walk your hands down the buttocks, walk your hands down the backs of the thighs, walk your hands to the knees. Then take the right hand back to the right heel. Take the left hand back to the left heel and begin to lift the chest up. So see that the shins are pressing down. See that the thighs are pressing back. See that the sternum is lifting up. So here, shins back, thighs back, buttocks down, chest up, and release the head back if you'd like. And take the hands back to the hips. Once again, release on down. We're back into our kneeling pose. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. So Dhanurasana and wheel pose, or Ustrasana's pose, camel pose, are the same pose. Only difference is that one pose you're on the floor, the other pose you're in the air. It's the only difference between the poses. It's the same too as another pose that we'll be exploring later. So take the hands to the buttocks. Smooth the buttocks flush to the backs of the knees. Feel the shins moving towards the calves. Feel the thighs moving to the hamstrings. Take your left hand, bring it to the left heel. Take your right hand, bring it to the right heel. And then breathe here as you lift the chest on up. So continue to feel the shins pressing back, thighs pressing back, buttocks down, shoulder blades into the center chest as you release the head back. And as you exhale, take the hands to the hips. Release the knees down, or rather release the hips down, and just be here for a moment. Close the eyes. And breathe here. Okay, so from here, you're going to remove the block. You're going to find your way onto your back one more time. And then we're going to come into a simple twist here. So knees draw into the chest. Just let both knees release over the right side as you breathe here. Knees release over the right. Continue to breathe into that left hip, the left side of the body. So breathing into that left hip, breathing into the left side of the chest. Back to center, back to center, back to center. Change opposite side. So once again now, your legs are drifting over to your left side as you release the head on down and breathe here. All right, and back to center again. Take those knees to the center chest here. Once again, lift the chest, lift the heart, lift the sternum. And you're going to take those legs up towards the ceiling again. Take the palms up towards the ceiling now. Good. You're going to release that right leg down. This time, bring your hands and bring them to the left side of your left leg. Back to center as you lift the right leg up. Change. So as you draw the left leg down, bring both hands outside of your right leg. Back to center and change. So right leg drifts on down. Keep lifting those shoulders. Keep lifting the chest. Look at the belly button. Back to center and change. Good. So keep lifting those shoulders up. Keep rounding the chest. Keep looking at the belly button. Back to center. This time, bring both hands to the knees and hug the knees into the chest. Good. Take the feet down to the mat. Grab hold of the outer edges of the mat. Roll the left shoulder under. Roll the right shoulder under. Once again, we're going to take this shape of the pose. So as you press down through the feet, shins move towards calves, thighs move towards hamstrings, buttocks moves towards the heels, and roll the shoulders underneath. Take the hands, interlace the fingers underneath the back now, and continue to press down through the fingers as you feel the shoulder blades drawing into the center chest. This is called bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Guys, if you look at this pose or you feel this pose, the pose is identical to the two poses we just took. Dhanurasana wheel pose and Ustrasana camel's pose. It's exactly the same pose, just in a different direction. As you exhale, lower the pelvis on down. Again, hug those knees into the chest here. Arms come out to the sides. This time, instead of letting the knees drop down to the floor, you're going to float the knees off of the floor. You're just going to. So once again here, the knees are floating off the floor this time as you continue to breathe here. Good. Back to center again. All right. So we build up for this. You can move back into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. You can move back into the bridge pose. If you want to attempt it, I'm going to be instructing full wheel pose, which is called Urdhva Dhanurasana, or upward facing bow pose. So to take upward facing bow, start by setting up for bridge pose. So see that the fingers are touching the tops of the heels. See that the buttocks flesh is long. Feel both shoulders releasing down to the mat. You can roll the shoulders under here. That's helpful here, even though we're going to be kind of changing the pose in a moment. And taking your hands, bending the elbows, bringing your palms up above the head so that the elbows draw in. So guys, remember the pose that we took when we were in Warrior 2, where the elbows were up and our hands were on our shoulders? It's very similar to that action. As you press down through the feet, feel the shins drawing in towards the calves. As you press down through the thighs, feel the thighs drawing towards the hamstrings. As you press down through the fingers this time, see if you can keep the elbows in and lift up onto the top of the head. Pause here. So you may just be here today. Spread the fingers wide apart. Pull the fingers forward as you feel the shins drawing back. So forearms are drawing forward, shins are drawing back. Press through the fingers. Maybe feel the shoulder blades setting along the back of the spine as you lift up the chest. Wheel pose. Breathing in here. So continue to feel that length, that strength, that certainty through the pose. As you exhale, bring the chin towards the chest. Softly release the head, shoulders, neck, and spine on down. And find your way back onto your back body here. Arms are out at the sides. Typically, we take wheel pose 2 times. And the reason for that is because the first time we're really setting the foundation, the second time we're really holding the pose. So as you feel ready, hands come behind the shoulders here. Draw the elbows in. Press down through the tops of the feet. Feel the shins drawing toward the calves. Press down through the thighs. Feel the thighs drawing towards the hamstrings. Buttocks comes towards the heels. Spread the fingers wide apart. Press through the fingers. Come onto the top of the head. So draw the fingers down to the mat. Feel the forearms lengthening to the back. So forearms are moving to the back of the room. Biceps are moving to the ceiling. Triceps are moving to the back of the room. And you can feel the shins lengthening up as you lift the chest. Good here. Breathing in. Feeling that breath. Feeling that extensiveness along the back body. Bring the chin to the chest. Softly release on down. Release the pelvis down. And once again, let those knees hug into the center chest here. Good. So you can begin to rock those hips forwards and backwards, or right and left a few times here. Eventually forwards and backwards until eventually you roll on up. We're going to extend the legs forward of the chest. Bring the right knee in. Bring the right foot. The right foot touches the left thigh, just like we were in our tree pose earlier. Inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, glide the hands over to that foot. Maybe the hands just touch the shin. Release the head on down here. So breathe in through the side ribs. Continue to lengthen the right side of the chest towards the left foot. Draw the left outer hip back. That's very important because that creates an elongation throughout the left side of the body. So we do want to have evenness in both the left and the right sides of the body here as you continue to breathe. This is called Janu Shirshasana. It's a resting pose. That's typically a resting pose. We take this pose just to kind of quiet the mind and calm down through our practice. And then as we inhale, we lift those arms up towards the ceiling, extend the right leg forward, draw the left knee in. So the left foot comes into the right thigh crease, hands draw on up, and then glide your hands over to the right foot. Release that head on down and breathe here. And continue to draw the right hip back. Continue to press the right ball of the foot forward. Feel the belly drawing in. See that the chest is lengthening over and across. And drawing the right hip back. Drawing the left side of the chest forward here.
as you continue to breathe. All right, inhale, lifting those arms on back up. Gliding your hands down to the feet. Now walking those hips back, walking those hips back, walking those hips back. Paschimottanasana, the west facing the east pose. So the chest moves down towards the thighs, the head releases down towards the feet, and breathe here. Okay, inhale, lifting on up. Take your hands back to the back body. Scoot the hips on forward. Hug your knees into the chest once again. So squeeze those knees in. We're going to take a pigeon pose once again. One more pigeon for today. This is on our back, so it's called resting pigeon. You'll take your left leg over the right thigh. You'll bring your hands behind the back of the right leg and allow that left hip to lengthen to the right heel. So breathe here, resting pigeon's pose. We just take it for about 15 to 20 seconds. Not too long here. And then you'll draw the right knee into the chest. You'll take the right foot, place it over the left thigh crease, and then you'll hug the back of your left leg in. So the right hip draws to the left heel. Continue to breathe here. Feel the openness in the right leg. Both shoulders releasing on down. Softly releasing the left foot down, releasing the right leg down. Take your hands out to the sides one more time. Simple twist over to the right. Just to unwind anything that is in the low back. Closing the eyes and breathing. Back to center, knees come to the other side and change. Release the head. Again, back to center. This time, place your hands under the buttocks. Move the buttocks flesh away from the body, away from the low back, and then take the arms out to the sides. Roll the shoulders under, spread through the fingers, release the feet out to the sides. This is called Shavasana's pose. Close the eyes and breathe here.
So eventually here, you begin to bring those knees to a bent position. Take the arms up and over the head. Roll the legs over to a side. Be here for a moment. And press your way back up into a seated position, coming into a cross-legged position here. All right, take your hands to the center chest. Exhale, release the chin to the chest. Namaste. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed the practice. A couple of challenging poses today. We had some chaturangas and some floating pigeon, which is kind of a tough pose. It's kind of a level 2-3. I instructed it here just to kind of throw it in to switch things up. But I hope you guys have a great day. And Jessica, thank you so much for joining. It has been a pleasure, and hopefully continues to be a pleasure to be able to share practice. So for anybody else who's joining, thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal day today. We do live streaming yoga every single day of the week. We have this class. You did a great job. I'm happy that you tried it because it's a very hard pose. It's actually a level 2-3. But go in slowly, and it's awesome. I think that's really cool to kind of integrate that because then, you keep building in your practice. So I think it's always good. A little bit of a challenge, but a nice little challenge. So have a great day, Jessica. Anybody else who joined, I hope that you have a fantastic day as well. I'll be here for 3 o'clock wellness class. We still have live streaming classes tomorrow, all day. So thank you guys so much. Jessica, have an excellent day. Be well. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Maybe Thursday, hopefully. Have a beautiful day, everyone. So be well, be happy, my friends. Namaste, yogis. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.